Good afternoon, everybody. Thank you so much for being here with us. I'm very happy, and my son had no hope, but miracles still happen. And I'm very happy today to have the privilege and the honor to present my son, Luis Mendez, who's not dead, but he's here with me. Come on, Luis. And I call him my miracle. That's the name I gave him once he was lifted out of the bed.
Good afternoon to you all. I'll repeat myself. I am Luis Angel Mendez, as you can see that you heard my name, or known as LV in the streets, or people from my past days, as they once called me. I am a Hispanic, Latino, and warrior. You can say or refer to me as. By the end of this short speech, you will know the whys, when, and hows. Warrior is also the meaning of my first name. When you come into the world as a newborn, you do not understand or think about the future that lies ahead of you. You don't know the routes or paths you'll take, if they are really good positive paths or negative paths, paths to benefit or cause harm. Every decision one makes in life has consequences. Some are good, some are not so good. As adults, we should not think or behave like children anymore and have to accept the consequences that come with the choices we make. Sad to say, I would have never thought that I would have woken up from a coma after getting shot in the head. To be honest, ever waking up again at all. As long as I could remember, I was always told by my mother that I was marked and chosen by God before my mother gave birth to me. I did not know the magnitude of that phrase until I was a man. They say never question him, but I don't deserve the selection. He kept reminding me he chose me through pastors and in public, which I did not like much due to my very fixed mindset and inexperience in our close relationship to come. I was never too fond of school. Till today, that has not changed drastically. My mother has always had a full-time job, actually the same one since I was born. She's been there here in BCC for 30 years. She came home from work every day, some days more exhausted than others. However, she still cooked and helped me with homework. She is very strict and did not play about school. Homework had to be completely done correctly and neat, or else she would make me do it all over again. After knocking some sense into my head with the thickest textbook she could find on the kitchen table. That was part of the reason why I dislike school. I gave my mom a very hard time with negative behavior and grades every parent-teacher conference, which is why I was so sweet to my teachers on those days. But it never helped. It was like the negative always overweight the little positive. The only good thing staff and teachers would say was he is a very respectable young man with manners. As I got older, my behavior became worse. In high school, I was the cool kid who was loved by the ladies and some staff. I got into fights that led to suspensions, was transferred to a second high school because there was no hope of graduating. My second high school was worse. I entered the school with the same mindset of being the man, and I still did not make it to graduate. Wasn't just a coincidence, just my well-deserved good luck, you can say. My mother ended up transferring me to a GD program inside of BCC. After passing my test and graduating with my GED from Future Now, I started my first semester as a college student. The College Discovery Program played a big role in the start of my educational journey. I had dropped out of Bronx Community College shortly after to work and make money to help raise my son, Zaire Angel Mendez, who was born on March 15, 2014. So the main reason I left school was to make money so that I would not struggle. I just wanted to provide everything I possibly could, as my father did for me. In my journey of working, I went from job to job, nothing consistent. When finally being terminated from the last one, life took a wrong turn with me behind the steering wheel. I noticed now it was much better and smarter if I would have stayed in school and church and made wiser decisions, among other things. There are a lot of things people can say about turning 22, but most don't live to tell the story I can. Right after turning 22, I was almost killed, not by a known enemy, but actually set up by someone I called a friend. I remember this day without losing any memory from that day. I finally woke up from the coma and saw my family standing by my hospital bed, cheering and smiling as if I had done something spectacular when I had only just woken up from a nap. To my knowledge, the people by my bedside were the ones I hurt the most, laying in my shame and sulking in my guilt. If only it could have been that easy to feel like I was alive and back. But the long road was still in front of me, feeling so different and so broken, realizing I could not move, eat, talk, or help myself in any kind of way. I had to mentally prepare myself, deciding for a better outcome, because I could not imagine being in that current condition for the rest of my life. As I made little progress here and there, school was the last thing on my mind. I was much more concerned about my physical condition. The most difficult part of my recovery process was waking up every day, not wanting to look in the mirror because of my disgust at my condition. After a while, this perspective of myself changed, with positive compliments from my parents, members in church, therapy, and hard work. I would tell myself, if I was man enough to make all the wrong choices I committed, then I had to be strong enough to get through the consequences as well. I still live by that code today. After certain goals was reached through physical therapy, my mother brought up the idea of me going back to college, continuing where I left off. This sounded challenging and I doubted myself. Another thing was all the money I owed the college had to be paid before going back. Another miracle and surprise was that my GED program, which I graduated from, heard about me wanting to go back to college after such a traumatic injury. They were inspired and paid the full amount off. Then another new journey in my life began. I was a college student again. I had set the goal in my head that I was going to be a great role model for my son, showing him no matter what situations come to your life, we are Mendez. We're fighters and never give up in life. I wanted to be viewed as a superhero to my boy. More than anything, after feeling like such a lousy father, school started and it was in person. Thoughts such as what are other students going to say or think when they see me, especially the females. Will they either laugh or think I'm still as handsome as before my injury? I was walking with a limp and cane, but my left arm was not moving and very noticeable and really embarrassing because I was only 23 using a cane and now disabled. I had to just adjust to this new way of living that I did not want to live in. I was always happy about being alive, but I wanted to look normal like everyone else, walk normally and with a balanced pace, using both hands normally, such as putting on my coat and opening my books with both hands, not just one hand. My mother's curiosity was only the spark of my turnaround in life. How great it is to have a curious, caring, loving mother nowadays, who never turned her back or gave up on me, which was the reason I enrolled back in and graduated from BCC years later. Thanks to the future, Thanks to the Future Now program as well. I just really want to say that no matter the rumors people spread about 2-year community colleges, BCC made a huge impact in my life, from the disability program, professors, and helpful staff here. My story would have not been so meaningful and inspiring without you guys. Oh, and by the way, thanks to Maria, Stephanie, and the disability program, I'm working part-time for the city. I'm going to I am going to continue to strive for better and never give up. This college campus will forever hold a special place in my heart. One more thing, the miracle is not over. I have 48 credits to go to complete my bachelor's degree at Lehman. The trajectory of my story is to be continued. Thank you, BCC.
The story still continues.